In today's video, I'm going to be talking about everything to do with sinking funds. What are they, how to get started, some examples, and I'm also going to show you how you can create and track them using a free website I've been making myself. Hey everyone, welcome to another video of It's Tom's Life. My name's Tom, and on this channel I like to talk mostly about personal finance, but I also keep you guys up to date with my fitness goals and traveling. We are in a lockdown right now, but hopefully a bit later on in the year I'll be able to go traveling again, and I'll be able to take you guys with me on that as well. As I said in the intro, today I'm going to be talking about sinking funds. So what are sinking funds exactly? A sinking fund is a particular type of savings, but there are a couple of key differences between what people kind of regard as normal savings and what makes a sinking fund actually a sinking fund, and I'll go through what those are. So sinking funds have two main attributes, and they have to have these. The first one is a set amount. So if you know that you're going to have to buy something or repair something, save for something, usually you have an amount right in your head that you need to save for. So that's the first attribute. The second attribute is time. So how much time do you have to save for that thing? So let's take an example. So let's say you wanted to save for Christmas, which most of us is something that we have to save for. And let's say, for example, that you know that in next Christmas you want to be able to save £300. So £300 is your goal, and next you need a time frame. So you need to kind of look at where you are in the current year and figure out how many months there are before you need to use that money. Now, bear in mind that with Christmas, it's not like you just buy presents on December 24th. Well, most people don't do that. You do buy presents throughout the year as well, but with a sinking fund, that's okay, and you'll see why that is in a moment. So let's say, for argument's sake, that it's January. This is probably the ideal time frame, the maximum amount of time, because it's just been Christmas and you have a full 12 months to save. So as I said, let's say that you want to save £300 and you have 12 months to save. So 300 divided by 12 is 25. So that would mean that to create a Christmas sinking fund, you would need to save £25 every month from January to December. And like I said with Christmas, what the good thing about this is that, you know, coming up to Christmas, October, November, you're going to have some of that, most of that money available. So it's not like, you know, you can only use that money in that month. For the Christmas example, some other examples might be you're saving for a new car or a holiday, or, you know, any number of things that are big enough that you wouldn't necessarily be able to pay for that thing like in one paycheck, and it would have a massive blow to your income that month. Instead, you're separating it out over a period so that when it comes to it, you have the money and it doesn't have any impact on your income. The other great thing about sinking funds, especially if you do it very intentionally and you think very carefully about, you know, the kinds of things, the kind of amounts that you're going to have to pay out in the future, is that it avoids you from taking out loans and taking out finance contracts, which means you don't have to pay any interest. Instead, the payment that you would have made on those payments after you actually had the thing, you're actually saving for that and paying yourself that before you buy it, which is awesome, because if you don't have the money to pay for something, then the minimum you're going to have to pay for that thing is the retail price. But if you save that money before and you have that money available, the most you're going to pay is the retail price. You know, you obviously have the money, so you can go into a shop and pay the retail price. But because you have that money, the ball's in your court. You can go and find deals and maybe wait a few months until you see a good deal, and maybe, you know, look at getting it secondhand, maybe, which you need the money to do that. So that's the other great thing about sinking funds, is just purely the fact that you have that money available. You're avoiding going into more debt, taking out finance loans, and you know, you're gonna probably spend a lot less on those things than if you didn't actually have the money. So next I want to show you guys how you can actually track those funds, because if you have multiple funds it can be quite hard to track those, and you can use a spreadsheet or something like that. But if you've watched some of my previous videos, you'll know that I've been making a website where you can track a budget and funds and debts, and it's completely free. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But yeah, let's go have a look at how you would track these sinking funds in the budgeting app. So the first thing I wanted to do is show you guys the homepage, because I spent a little bit of time over the past couple of weeks rebranding the website. I've got a new logo, the name's the same, it's Nula Budget. You can go to nulabudget.com and you'll be able to see this. But I just thought I'd give you guys a little preview of the updates as well, and kind of show off those things a little bit. So the first thing I'm going to do is log in, and I'm going to log in with Facebook. This isn't my main budgeting account, it's one that I just use for demos and things like that. So you can see actually I don't have any budget in here. This is January 2021. I don't have any funds and I don't have any debt, so it's a fresh account. So let's take the Christmas example. So the first thing I would do is go to funds and click on create a fund, and we can see it says funds help you track savings goals. Click the button below to create a new fund. So I'll do that, and for the name I'm going to type Christmas, and right now I'm going to pretend I don't have anything saved, and as we said I'm going to do £300 as a goal. And if you're watching this video from anywhere outside of the UK, there is an option in here to change the currency to dollars and some other currencies. So you know, you can still use this tool anywhere in the world. I'm more than happy for you to use it for free. So we'll add that fund. So we've got a Christmas, £300. Let's do another one. What could we do? Maybe I want to save for a holiday, and my balance is again zero, and I want to spend £600 on the holiday. So these are my funds. I have a Christmas fund, a holiday fund. So what's great now is that every month these don't disappear. You don't have to make these every month. If I switch to February and go back to funds, we can see that we still have those funds, so they move across the months. We can also see them, we can quickly see them in the budget itself. We can see in this box down here we have funds, and this is actually how you add them to your budget. So I'm going to go back to January, and I'm going to add both the Christmas and holiday. And if I scroll up now, you'll see that they become line items on my budget. So as we said, Christmas, £300 over 12 months is £25. So I can add that I plan to pay myself £25. This is how it works. You when you have savings, you on this tool you pay yourself. And we can see that I have minus £25 budget. That's because I haven't added an income item, so it thinks that I basically have negative £25 to budget, which is fine for this example. And for holiday, I'm going to say £50. So they're now my budget. You can see that they're still here, and we go back to funds, and the balance on these is still zero, so that's fine. You can also add them to your budget from here, so you can do it that way, but I find it easier to just scroll down and add them with the buttons that are there. And then let's say it's now January, so I've received my income, and I'm going to actually add a transaction. And because these are in my budget, they are budget items, so the source is budget. So item, let's first pick Christmas, and we save £25. Now what I would normally do at this point, kind of in the real world, is move back £25 from my main bank account to a separate bank account which contains all the money for my funds. And there's a way on here you can see the total amount, so you can make sure you have the right amount in that savings account. So let's add that transaction, and we can see now for this one as I said before, I saved £25. I plan to save £25, sorry. I've saved £25 and there's £0 left to save. Next, holiday, so let's do the same thing. As I said, it's a budget item, so we keep budget, and I will next pick holiday and say £50. That's great. And again, we can see with holiday that I plan to save £50. I have saved £50, which means I have £0 left to save. And now what we'll see is if we scroll down in funds, these start to kind of grow. So what's great about this is it shows you how much you have relative to the overall goal. So you can see this kind of this overall goal would be 300 and this would be 600, and you can see they're both the same because they both have a time frame of 12 months, so this would represent 1/12 of that total bar. And we can see the same thing if we go to funds. We can see that now here balance is £25 and balance is £50. And as I said before, there's an overview bar over here, and we can see that in total my balance for all my sinking funds is £75. So this is really handy because it means, as I said, I can go into my savings account and I can make sure that there is £75 there as well. And I can also get an idea of what the kind of total of all my savings goals is, which might be useful to some people. Next, I'll quickly show you what you would do if you were to spend some of the money in your funds. So this is actually an update I made recently. What you used to have to do is just go into here and click edit and change the balance. But there's an actual better way to do this now. You can actually add a transaction against those items. So similar to before, I'm going to add a transaction. I'm going to say it's funds, and you get a big red warning here just to make it really clear that this will decrease the balance of the fund. It won't increase it. Adding it to the budget is how you increase a fund. And the same with debts. If you put a transaction against a debt, it will actually increase the balance of the debt, of course, because it means that you spent some money on a credit card, let's say. And if you want to decrease the value of a debt, you would add it to your budget and pay your balance off that way. So for this example, we'll choose funds. And first of all, let's say we went out and we bought someone a gift and it was £5. This time it doesn't appear on my budget because it's not part of the budget, it's just making a transaction against that fund. And now if we go to Christmas, we did have £25, but now we can see we have £20. And so yeah, that's how you would do it in Nula Budget. That's all for today. If you've enjoyed watching this video and you'd like to see more about personal finance, including watching me actually budget my real income month on month, then please hit the subscribe button below. If you've enjoyed this video in particular, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you again next time.